Oedipus the King by Sophocles, abridged and adapted by M. Turner Chitty from the University of Venice. Before our king, Oedipus came to our city of Thebes. We were suffering because a monster was attacking us, the Sphinx, with the body of a lion and the head of a woman, was bringing death on us. Our own king had gone away to find a solution, but he never came back.
The Sphinx told Oedipus he would die unless he could answer this riddle correctly. What has four legs in the morning, two in the afternoon, and three in the evening?
Oedipus answered, Man, because he has four legs when he crawls, two when he stands up as an adult, and three when he walks with a stick in old age.
The Sphinx cried in disappointment and
Fell down the cliff and was destroyed.
Oedipus walked into our city and became our beloved king, marrying our queen.
We were happy for a long time, but now things have changed.
Children, why do you sit here so sad, crying out to the gods? The town is filled with the sounds of prayers. I come out to learn what is happening. Priest, come and speak for them. What do they fear? I will give them all that they need.
Lord Oedipus, our city is tossing like a ship in a storm.
Diseases are upon the plants of the earth and the cattle in the fields.
Our, our women can't give birth to their children.
Black death reaps the harvest of our tears.
We have come to speak to you because in the past you have saved us. Nobles of men, keep our city from sinking.
Help us again!
I pity you, my children. I know you are all sick, but no one suffers as much as I do. I have shed many tears over this. I have sent Creon, my brother-in-law, to ask the god Apollo at his temple to tell me how I can save the city. When Creon returns, I will do everything that the god commands.
Thank you for your kind words.
Look,
Creon is coming.
His face is bright. Let us hope that this news will also bring us comfort. Creon, what word do you bring us from the god?
A good word. Apollo commands us to drive out the pollution from our land. If we drive it out, we are saved. There is a murderer here among us, the murderer of our old King Louis. We must expel the murderer or kill him if we can find him.
How can we find him?
The god said that the clue is in this land.
Where did this murder take place?
Louis was traveling when he was killed. He never came back.
Did no one witness the murder?
One did. All the others were killed. This man said that there were many robbers, but he could not say anything more clearly.
I swear by Apollo that I will discover the truth. Children, go now. God will decide whether we prosper, or remain in grief.
We are tortured with doubt and fear for what may pass through the years.
we have no spear to drive away the plague.
Our sorrows are numberless.
Our babies are born dead and lie on the naked earth.
Hear my words, citizens of Thebes. I command you, whoever among you knows the murderer of Laius, let him tell us everything. If you know the murderer, speak the truth, for I will pay and be grateful. A good man is dead. I now have his throne and wife, Jocasta. I will defend him as I will defend my own father.
We neither
killed the king, nor do we know
who killed him.
But
Call
call
for old
Tiresias,
Tiresias, who is blind but can see what Apollo sees.
sees.
He may be able to tell you.
I have sent for him.
Look,
Here he comes.
Teresias, you know much things that can be taught and things that cannot be spoken. You have no eyes, but in your mind you know. You alone can rescue us. Tell us what you know.
Wisdom is terrible when it is turned against you. Let me go home. It will be easier for us both if you let me go home.
For God's sake, if you know anything, tell us.
All of you here know nothing. I will not speak. I will not bring this pain upon us both.
Tell us, you villain.
I will say nothing further. You can rage as long as you want.
Indeed, I am angry. You must have murdered him yourself.
Yes? Then I am warning you to keep your word. You! It is you who pollute the land. You are the murderer of the king.
You lie! I will punish you. Is this your work or is it Creon's? He is jealous of me.
Your ruin comes from yourself and not from Crayon. Listen to me. You have called me blind, but even though you have your eyes, you cannot see. Do you know who your parents are?
Get out of my house, damn you!
This day will show you your birth, and it will destroy you. Soon, he will be shown to be a native of Thebes. He will exchange of blindness for sight and poverty for wealth. He will be shown to be father and brother both to his children and son and husband to his wife.
Now is the time for him to run away.
Thuristes has confused us.
We will not blame the king until we see proof.
Citizens, I have come because I heard scandal spread about by the king. I am no traitor. Maybe it was just a burst of anger. Here comes the king now.
You dare come here, Creon? What made you plot against me?
What offense do you accuse me of?
Did you send Teresias to me?
I did.
How long ago did Laius die?
A long, long time ago.
Did Teresias say anything about me then?
I don't know.
As my brother-in-law, you have proven yourself a false friend. I should kill you for spreading this rumor.
Consider this. I have no desire to have the responsibilities of a king. Now I am free of cares. You gave me everything I want. Why should I let this go? Go to the oracle and ask if I have been honest with you. If not, sentence me to death. His words are wise, king.
Those who are hot tempered are not safe. But look, here is Jocasta, the queen, my husband, my brother. Are you not ashamed to start a private argument when so many are suffering in the country?
Your brother thinks he has the right to do me wrong? To kill or expel me?
I beg you, Oedipus, forgive him for my sake.
Be gracious. Be sympathetic. We beg of you.
He has been your friend for years.
All right, let him go.
I'll go then. They know I am innocent. Your temper is your worst enemy.
What is the matter here? What has provoked your anger, Oedipus?
It was Creon and the plot he laid against me. Creon says that I am the murderer of Laius.
Does he speak from knowledge or gossip?
He spoke out of the mouth of the prophet Teresias.
Then you have no need to worry. Listen and learn from me. There was an oracle that came once to Laius and said that he would die a victim at the hands of his own son, our son.
But you know the king was killed by foreign highway robbers at a place where three roads met. As for the baby, 3 days after his birth, Lawes pierced his ankles and tied them together and put him out on a hillside to die so that he could never kill the king. And in the end, Lawes was killed by the robbers, not by his son.
Oh dear Jocasta, as I hear this from you, I am going insane!
What makes you say this?
Did you say that Laius was killed at the crossroads?
That's what we heard
Where?
in the country where the road splits to Delphi and Dahlia.
How long ago?
Just before you came to our city to rule us.
Tell me, how did Laius look? How old or young was he?
He was a tall man, and his hair was gray, nearly white. He looked like you.
One more thing. Did he travel with many servants or few?
There were five. I was rode in a chariot with a driver.
The picture is clear. Who told you what happened?
Just one servant who came home. After all this happened, he begged me to send him out to the fields to be a shepherd, so I sent him away.
I wish we could talk to him.
We can't. Why are you so determined to see him?
Oh dear Jocasta, I'm afraid I've said too much.
Oedipus, tell me what's bothering you.
You know that I come from Corinth. My father was the king and my mother was the queen. One day, someone at the dinner called me bastard, and I was furious. The next day, I went to an oracle to find the priest of Apollo and told me that I had terrible fate. I was destined to sleep with my own mother and kill my own father. When I heard this, I fled away from Corinth. I did not want these prophecies to come true. As I traveled, I met a servant and a carriage with a man in it, just as you described. The servant and then the man inside tried to push me off the road by force. I became angry. I struck the servant. Then the old man struck me with a stick, and I struck him back, and he fell down. He was dead. I killed them all. Now I must ask, is it I who have killed my father and married my mother? Oh, no, no! Holy God on high, let it not be so!
Sir,
Sir,
we too
we
fear
do
these
fear these
things.
things. Until you see the shepherd, you cannot know the truth.
The tyrant is born out of pride.
The man who is arrogant and does not fear the gods must suffer an evil fate.
I bring flowers to pray to the gods.
God bless you, lady. I bring news from Corinth, your king's old city.
God bless you, sir. What do you have to tell us?
My king, Oedipus' father, has died of old age. The people want Oedipus to return and rule them.
This is wonderful news. The king is dead, but not by Oedipus' hand.
But surely I must fear my mother's bed. The oracle said I will kill my father and marry my mother.
Is this the fear that made you leave Corinth?
Yes, I didn't want to kill my father, messenger. Your fears were empty. Polybus was not your father. Then why did he call me son?
I know because I gave you to him myself as a baby. I was a shepherd then, and I had found you on the mountainside outside of town. I saved your life.
What was wrong with me?
Your ankles were pierced and tied with leather strips. I untied you, but the man who gave you to me will know more than I do.
You yourself did not find me? Who was it?
He was another shepherd, Luis man from Thebes, here.
Jocasta, Do you know about this man we have sent for?
Don't pay any attention, Oedipus. I beg you, do not ask any more questions.
Have someone go and get that shepherd for me.
Oh, Oedipus, poor Oedipus. That is the last thing I will ever call you.
Why has the queen run out of the room in wild grief? Oedipus?
She rushed away in tears.
I fear that from her silence now there will there will come a storm.
Are you the man who was a servant of King Laius? I was the shepherd. I took care of his sheep. Do you recognize this man? No, I don't.
Old man, don't you recognize me? You gave me a child to bring up as my child. This man here, is that child grown up?
Damn you! Hold your tongue! If you won't talk, pain will loosen your tongue. Servants! What do you want to know? You gave him a child? I did. I wish I had died that day. You'll die now if you don't tell the truth. It was a child from the house of Laius the king. What child? A slave's child? Your wife can tell you best. She gave it to you? Yes, my lord. The child's mother was so hard-hearted? Yes, my lord. An oracle said that he would kill his parents. Why did you give this to this man? I pitied the baby. I thought I could send it to another country and it will live. But if you, man, he says you were born to misery. Oh, light of the sun, let me look you no more. My life is cursed.
Oh, princess! Our glorious queen Jocasta is dead!
This is
It's
terrible!
terrible!
How did she
How did she
die?
die? By her own hand, she came ranging into the house, went straight up to her bedroom, tearing her hair and crying. Then Oedipus came in shouting. He begged us, "Bring me a sword!" He rushed into his room, and there he saw his wife hanging. The twisted rope around her neck. He cut her down and then he took the pins from her dress and he drove the long pins into his own eyes.
The blood ran down his cheeks. How does he know? This is a terrible sight.
I pity you, but I cannot look at you.
What devil made you stab into your own eyes?
Why should I see my eyes can show me nothing sweet? Curse the man who rescued me on the hillside. He stole me from death. But I wish I had died.
You would be better
You
off
will be better
dead.
off dead.
Crayon enters.
Oedipus,
Oedipus. Oedipus, I have not come to insult you with your past. I am sorry for you.
Creon, I cannot stay here. Take me to a place where I cannot hear a human voice. Let me live on the mountain that should have been my grave years ago.
What else do you need?
Bury your sister, my wife, my mother, and perform the funeral rites for her, Creon. Take care of my children, especially my two daughters. No one will want to marry them now. Do not allow them to wander like beggars, husbandless.
It is time for you to go. Behold, Oedipus, he who knew the answer to the famous riddle and rose to greatness.
His good fortune was the envy of all.
See him now, how the waves of disaster have swallowed him.
Do not think any man or woman is happy until they have come to the end of life without tragedy.
The
The
God's
God's will
will
has been done.